This is the ultimate guide to Kabr and all of his abilities in Destiny Rising. I'm going to be doing an overview of all his relic abilities, diving into his talent tree, and taking a look at some of the artifacts that you should be using when you use Kabr. You guys really seem to like the Destiny Rising content, so I'm going to keep it coming. So let me know down in the comments what character guide you guys want me to do next, and with all that being said, let's get into this. Now, Kabr is an extremely underrated character in Destiny Rising, mainly due to the fact that he is classified as a legendary character. Everyone always spends their time with Gwyn, Tantu, Yolder, and Ningfei because they are classified as mythic characters, the best characters in the game. But I kid you not when I say I think Kabr is on the mythic tier level, if not even better than some of these mythic characters. I tried clearing the raid on Gwyn, I tried it on Tantu, and I'm ashamed to admit I could not complete an encounter. But as you guys can see here, as soon as I switched to Kabr, I was able to clear all 3 encounters of the raid. So that just goes to show you that this character is extremely powerful. Now, Kabr uses Arc as his main element. He's a defense character, a resilient survivalist capable of counteracting relentless attacks and harsh combat environments. And he's a medium-range combat character, good at using medium-range weapons and relic abilities to adapt to various occasions. And for his primary weapon, he's going to be maining pulse rifles, and in his heavy slot, he uses machine guns, which means that he can use the Battle Pass Furies 3 exotic pulse rifle, which is extremely good. Now, as for his relic abilities, his super, the Voltaic Slam, uses the Thunder Shield to fire a powerful arc beam, striking and inflicting combatants within the end of the beam's range with blind. He then enters his super state, during which multiple strikes can be launched. The arc beam emitted by Voltaic Slam gains the ability to refract over penetrating up to 2 targets and refracting towards targets within a 15-meter radius behind them. Each over penetration generates an explosion. His first signature ability is Blinding Shield. Strike an arc-infused shield, dealing damage and inflicting blind. And his second signature ability is Resistor Barricade. Creates a barrier to block incoming fire. So if you play Destiny 2, this is like the Titan's Rampart where you can shoot through the shield. And if you actually upgrade this, shooting through the shield and hitting targets will actually chain lightning, which we'll get into later. Now let's do a deeper dive into his abilities. The Resistor Barricade can protect allies, while ally bullets can pass through it. So we have an ally here. We can just step in front of them, throw down our barricade. And now you can see Wolf here shooting through the shield. Look at him go. Now with our left bumper ability, we will cast the Blinding Shield. And as you can see, Captain is blinded. And when we hit enemies with our shield, we're going to get health regen. So not only is the Blinding Shield offensive, but it's also defensive. As you can see, we're taking some damage. Let's get our shield off. Immediately trigger our health regen. And we can throw down a barricade for our buddy here. Now we're going to get into some advanced techniques. After activating Weapon Mastery, Safeguard Lightning, bullets fired through the Resistor Barricade deal chain lightning. So now we're going to drop our barricade. We'll take a shot at this guy over here. And as you can see, it broke the shields of those 3 other guys. Now, Kabr also has a passive ability called Home Court. Inflicting blind with abilities triggers instant recovery. This effect can trigger up to once per second and prevents interruption for 1 second. Now, getting into Kabr's Relic Trait 1, the barrier inflicts combatants that go through it with blind for 2 seconds. Which is extremely good because there's going to be enemies rushing you all the time. So as long as you keep spamming your barricade, they're going to run straight at you, go through it, and then they're going to be blind. And blinding makes combatants disoriented and struggle to aim their weapons. Combatants immune to blind lose their ability to attack. Kabr's Relic Trait 2 is called Lightning Flash. When Kabr hits targets with his super, a flash with a 5-meter radius will be created at the location of the explosion. This flash lasts 2 seconds and deals 90 arc damage to targets within it every 0.5 seconds and inflicts blind for 5 seconds. And then his third relic trait, the arc barrier's maximum duration is extended to 15. Now up here he also has his weapon mastery. At level 1, weapons that fire bullets through arc barriers become enhanced by the power of the thunder, creating the chain lightning that can strike up to 3 targets, dealing arc damage equal to 240% times the current weapon damage. Triggers up to once every 3 seconds. So there is a cooldown on the little chain lightning, but it only takes 3 seconds, so it is actually pretty nice. At level 2, it just reduces that cooldown on it, so the lightning chains every 2.3 seconds. And at level 3, it reduces it even more to 1.5 seconds. At level 4, chain lightning deals an additional plus 60% damage to combatants inflicted with blind. And at level 5, chain lightning's trigger interval is reduced just to 1 second. Now to make Kabr even more powerful, you're going to want to upgrade his talent tree. And to get the currency to upgrade his talent tree, you're just going to have to do draws and get multiple copies of Kabr. That first talent is going to unlock Refraction Phenomenon. The arc beam emitted by Voltaic Slam gains the ability to refract over penetrating up to 2 targets and refracting towards the targets within a 15-meter radius behind them. Each over penetration generates an explosion. So essentially, this is just going to give you a huge amount of AoE. Instead of just shooting your shield and hitting one target, you'll be able to affect multiple targets at the same time. Very useful. Talent tree 2 is twofold threat. Blinding Shield's max number of charges is increased to 2. This is extremely overpowered because every time you shoot your shield, you can immediately follow it up with dropping your barricade and then shooting through your barricade, chain the lightning around, and just about the time that your barricade runs out, your blinding shield is going to be ready to go again. And since you have 2 charges, you are never going to be out of your blinding shield ability. Then at your talent tree number 3, you've got Energy Reconstruction, increases the durability of the resistor barricade by 40%. Now I will admit your resistor barricade does go down pretty quick, especially against those more powerful combatants. You're definitely going to want to get this talent here. Then talent 4, Accelerated Resistor. Resistor's barricade charge time is reduced to 17 seconds. So I believe at base it's on a 22-second cooldown. So this is just going to shave off a whole nother 5 seconds so you can spam that barricade even more. Talent number 5, increases the blast damage of the blinding shield by 50%. This is huge. So not only are you going to have 2 blinding shield charges, but both of those are going to deal 50% more damage. Then the final talent, you have Blinding Beam. Using Resistor's barricade creates a brilliant flash, inflicting all combatants within a 6x6 meter rectangular range with blind for 3 seconds. Combatants within a 25-meter radius, 180 degrees conical area who are facing the barrier will also be inflicted with blind for 1.5 seconds. This intense flash of light will occur again when the barrier is destroyed or it expires. Are you guys hearing what I'm saying? You are basically going to be able to take over the battlefield and stop all the enemies from shooting you and your teammates. The blind effect in this game is extremely strong, and the blind effect definitely saved me so many times while I was in the Gauntlet Onslaught raid. And then if you get all of the talents unlocked, you'll also unlock this dynamic avatar preview. Now, if we take a look at the artifacts, if you actually go down here to quick equip, it'll actually give you some suggestions depending on what you want to do. As you can see here, you got Shield Specialist. That's going to suggest Inverted Guard, which gains a plus 40.5 shield when health falls below 22.5%. Very good artifact here. You've also got Bulwark's Pact. The Wilder's Summons gains a plus 17.5 max health. And the Resistor Barricade counts as a summon. So this is going to make your barricade last a little bit longer. You also have Inverted Fury, gain a plus 13.5 weapon damage bonus while shielded. And you have Inverted Vengeance, gain a plus 6.75% damage bonus while shielded up to 9%. And here are some artifacts recommended for the Unusual Rampage. Unusual Rampage states that boosts resistance to status effects and grants increased damage while affected by status effects. So if you guys are in an encounter where you're facing a boss or something that slows you or suppresses you, this is going to be a really good loadout. You've got Healing Radiation, recover 1.35% health per second while within 20 meters of a target affected by debuffs, which includes yourself. You've got Resolute Radiation, gain 11.25% damage resistance while affected by debuffs. You've got Bellicose Radiation, while affected by a damage over time effect, take 17.5% less damage from damage over time effects and deal plus 2.5% damage. And you also have Rampaging Radiation, casting abilities grants the Rampage effect, lose 5.4% of max health once every 2 seconds and deal plus 3.59% damage for 10 seconds. It stacks 3 times. And then we also have the Rapid Fire Specialist. Artifact suggestions: boost the damage of rapid fire weapons, consecutive hits grant increased survivability. We've got Resolute Nutation, weapon and ability hits grant 0.86% damage resistance for 3 seconds, and it stacks up to 10 times. You've got Healing Nutation, after consecutively hitting the same target with more than 5 rounds, recover health on every subsequent hit equal to 9.44% of the initial weapon damage dealt. You also have Bellicose Procession. Hitting the same target 5 times grants the drawn weapon a plus 12.95% rate of fire until the magazine is emptied or the weapon is reloaded. This one is really good to up your DPS with his heavy machine gun. And then you have a Rampaging Procession. Reloading after the previous magazine lands at least 10 hits grants the weapon a plus 14% damage bonus. So those are a bunch of artifacts you guys should definitely keep an eye out for. And with all that being said, that is going to be doing it for the guide on Kabr's abilities, artifacts, and everything you need to know to get started with him. Let me know down in the comments what video you guys want to see next and who your favorite character is so far. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, leave a like if you found this helpful, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.